Okay. Hey guys, so we're gonna be learning today how to make larger environments when you're making like large scale city, natural, whatever you're trying to do type of environment and terrain, whatever. What the final product will look like, so let's get started. So here's what it looks like in Blender. A lot going on, so let's just turn off the fog for a bit more viewport response, you know what I'm saying? And basically the city is pretty simple. I will open it up in a separate blend, but it's just proxy. I put each in its own separate collection and then spawned it as a collection instance. It's a lot faster since everything's being booleaned, so it'll make more sense. Let me open up so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay. So here it is. So let's just make objects, make it real. Instance is real. So here we are. This is what it looks like. So we have our building, and then we have our boolean. Wrong boolean. There's the boolean. So it's just a real-time boolean. When you're doing this, make sure you choose fast, because if you choose exact, it will mess up. I don't know why, but usually fast will usually do the job. And then this is just a wire, the same thing with a wireframe and a deeper or a less deep cut into it. Turn this off. When I turn it off wireframe, it's just a displaced sphere. So let's make the building really quick. Let's just turn all this stuff off. So I'm gonna start with a grid or a plane. Sorry, Houdini talk coming in. Let's extrude this up a little bit. Spawn in a cube, or we can spawn in a cube separately, because we'll have to copy a bunch. Because what I did, I started a cube at this corner. Array, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Just array that down to fit a little bit more. And then we have this little grid type thing. So let's copy this. Let's just Control A. So you click Control A to apply. So Control A. Whoops. Control A. Control J. And then we can array. Rhyme. Array this. Wrong way. I'm rhyming a ton. Oh my god. And then boom. We have a building. Sort of. So Control A again. Now we have this. What I did for like the little so these squares can be windows, and we need the actual building part. So what I did was I copied that, and then I just click SZ to scale by the Z axis. I did that a couple times with different buildings, and it looked pretty good because it randomizes it. There we go. Just one more at the top, and then I just added some vents. Venting. I had some vents, just buildings usually have vents on top of them. I selected this and this, and I made this glass. Actually, I made this glass. My bad. That's my bad. So this is glass. I'll just assign it and say glass. Control I to invert the selection. Assign, name this building. Glass is simple. You turn down the roughness, you turn up the transmission, and then you turn alpha blend. And for the building bit, I use a texture from textures.com. I can link it in the drive down below. If you guys want, I'll link the blend file for the building too, for like just the project in general. If you just want to tear it apart or whatever, do whatever you want with it. It's a pretty hefty file, so I think it is. The downloads will take a little bit. Okay. Let's see. I use this texture, this dialect building texture, and I just projected it onto everything. It's pretty simple. The dialect texture is pretty good. It has some corners you can use, so it looks nice. There's your building. You can even like make it better. I just made this in like 5 minutes, and it holds up. So for like the little bit that I made for like the ruin, because it's some apocalyptic building, add that. Go into modifiers, subdivide, displace, new, clouds, the strength, whatever you want, and then Control Shift B if you have the bool tool on, and then difference by brush boolean, and then turn on fast, and it will work. You can do the same thing, and then just do wireframe. There's a whole tutorial that by Ian Hubert. That's where I got this. This is not mine. This is not my way of doing things. This is his. So yeah, I'll link his tutorial in the description, but this is basically the gist of it. His looks a lot better, but I made this in like 5 minutes. So anywho, let's go back to buildings. We don't gotta save that. The trees are simple. They're a model I downloaded online. I can link where I got them in the description. What a lot of people do is they jack up the number and hope that it'll work. But children is a thing. There's children option right here. What you want to do is put a minimal amount. Select like a ton of children because these are proxies, so they take a lot less rendering time. You can mess with length, threshold, but what I really mess with is the clumping and the roughness. So basically what it does is it clumps the size, clumps radius and then clumps the size. Get out of there. Clumps the size, so it makes it look a little bit more random and not just uniform. So we also got the roughness, which if you overdo it, obviously it'll look bad, but if you do it just enough where it won't overtake the whole image, it looks good. But yeah, another tip I have is camera selection. So when you're selecting a camera, you don't want to do like something like this where everything's exposed. You want everything to be exposed, but you want to be selective with what you expose as a cinematographer. So with me, my lighting is very like sunset mood. I have 2 spotlights to act as suns and a third one, but yeah, it's weird, but nobody's gonna know that. They're gonna assume, oh yeah, it's a sun, it's a sunset, because you can see it's coming in and it's causing this like shadow, and it looks nice. Another tip I got, these aren't even real trees, these are I'm so lazy. So I did this for I used this technique for a client, for some client work where I didn't even use real trees because there were so many trees I need to get even close like to what I needed. It was ridiculous. So what I did was I took 2 textures, one I made and then one off Quixel Bridge, and it's just this procedural kind of greenish gross texture. I mixed it and then I displaced it. I displaced only the grass or the trees, so it looked like trees. And from far away, you wouldn't tell that it's just a green texture. Probably now you would if you look at it enough. But yeah, I thought it was pretty sneaky. I mean, from here it looks like trees. Like you can't tell that's not trees. From here, obviously, you wouldn't want to use it like these up front ones. You don't want to use it there. But when it's like in the back, you can. That's totally fine. Time to compose a little bit. I'm gonna leave the compositing in the video this time because it's simple. But I can actually kind of describe my workflow and how I would work through something if I had to make like one on the spot for someone, or you know what I mean. So I have a depth map, and then I have the environment, and then I have the curves, film grade, and then the actual layer. This is a good technique to do. So scale is big. Scale is big when it comes to large scale scenes. I could have captured it a bit better if I'm honest, but getting these small buildings as a reference to the camera and the trees really helps scale up these buildings. That was my mindset. If I had really small buildings that were like maybe twice the size of the trees, it would really make buildings over here a lot more epic and big. So scale and reference to the eye is very, very, very handy when it comes to building landscapes like this. Always want something to focus our eye on with big landscapes, so because if I didn't have these buildings here, you wouldn't really know what to look at. It's just a bunch of buildings. I mean, you could look at these buildings, but there's a lot, so you need some bigger ones that stick out to actually focus on. And see how it's in the center and then one off and one here. It kind of bounces out the composition a little bit. So that was my mindset. That's to make landscapes a bit bigger. That's just my 2 cents of what I've learned in making large landscapes for clients, for myself. Yeah, so I hope you guys had fun sticking around, and I will see you guys next time.